coaches are in. When you need a timely, transparent friend, tune into the coaches are in. Talking career, business, health, and wealth. You got a friend now. Into the coaches are in. With authenticity, come on, let's take a seat and tune in.
Hello.
Hello.
Happy Monday.
Happy
Monday.
Yes.
It's been a Monday.
It has been a Monday. It's been a couple of Mondays.
I was going to say it's been a Friday,
Right.
a Saturday.
Right.
Exactly.
The last episode we did the third Monday in May. We did not make it on. And I will take ownership of that because life was lifing. And
It's a team effort. It's a team effort. We got
it's all good. Yes, we're all good with that.
But we are here today.
We are back.
And yes, we are back, and we're excited to be here. We're going to be talking about marriage again. This is part 2. With what I guess turned out to be a marriage series. I think when we did it last time, we didn't plan to do it this way, but we had more questions that we could answer, so we decided to go ahead and do that. So that is what we're going to be talking about this evening. But let us go ahead and introduce ourselves for those who are tuning in live or watching the replay, who are just being introduced to the Coaches RN. So I am Dr. Cherita Weatherspoon. I'm an operations strategist and alignment coach, creator of the Coaches RN. And I help people launch their businesses.
Yes.
That's all I got.
That's it.
That's
right.
what you do. That's what you do. all that entails.
Yes.
Well, I am Allison Garrett. I'm your behavioral interventionist, and I work with women who struggle with identifying the exact thing that has them stuck without years of therapy.
And as you notice, my name is Malaika Turner, but I have nothing underneath, right? And because since this show started, I have pivoted several times, finding my identity. I am a confidence coach, but I am also your reinvention strategist for women over 50, helping you discover and build confidence, also using AI as you tap into your second act. So that's who I am.
All right. Second act.
Okay.
Come on, second act.
Okay, so let me ask this. You've been practicing that because that came out real smooth, right?
Did it come out smoothly?
It did.
Very.
Because listen, disclose. Can I be honest with our audience, right? My girls co-hosts are always confident in who they are and what they know, and I kept saying, and I've pivoted and I said, I want to be like them. I want to know who I am. And I want to be able to clearly provide who I am, and that's what I do. And I'm confident about that, and I want to help people get to that level.
Love it. Love it. That was perfect.
So kudos to y'all.
Yes, but it is always a process, right? So let's be real about that, because we didn't always start off being able to just flow with what we do and how we do it.
If we go back to the beginning, maybe the first few episodes, we said something different every single time. We're like, okay, what did I say before?
I was fumbling. Like, my name's Malaika Turner, and I'm wait a minute, hold on. Scroll. Oh, I'm your
Yes. And now we could go on about that. Yeah, absolutely. And we could go on about that, but we said we was going to talk about marriage. So we're going to
not identity. That could be a next. That's a good show though. That's another one.
Yes. All right. So last month you all trusted us with some of the hardest questions inside your marriages. And we had a real conversation, and based on your comments and your messages and the questions that we continue to get, like, you aren't done with that topic. So since you're not done with that topic, we're not done with that topic. So tonight we're not talking about kind of what's happening in your marriage right now. We're kind of going a little bit deeper and talking about like the root of the issues, which result from our expectations before marriage, and then
Mm,
what that translated to once we were married. So
right.
we are going to be talking to you. We are not marriage counselors or marriage therapists. We are just experienced married people. So
People.
actually, let's kind of say what our marriage experience is, so
Yes.
people know who they're talking to. So
Mm-hmm.
let me see. I've been married 29 years. Is it 28 or
Can be
29?
about right.
This
You
26,
like one of them
29.
numbers.
It'll be 30 years this Christmas. It'll be
Wow.
30 years
What?
on
Oh, that's
Christmas.
right. That's right. That's right.
Yes.
30 for Christmas.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I've been
Wow.
married. It'll be 9 years in November. Second marriage.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
I I have been married. June 22nd will be 27 years.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah. And I
That
was
sounds
with
like a long
my
time.
husband, yeah, 6 years before we got married.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Okay.
that's a good piece of information. I was
Hmm.
with my husband. Well, let's, I'm gonna say I met my husband Halloween weekend of the year of 1995, and we got married Christmas 1996. So
Okay. So we all come from
we we knew each other
different
for like 13 months.
scenarios.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And we still married, and I haven't killed him yet.
You gonna
You
keep them.
said we still together.
We still together. We like each other.
That's important. That's more important than love, but that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That is a whole nother episode.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now you know who you're talking to. So we are talking to
Hmm.
you from our experiences,
Right.
not in a professional capacity, but we are going to share what we believe is some wisdom, because of the experience that we've had, and hopefully
Hmm.
that it'll benefit you.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's all. So,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
good.
so let's go ahead and dive in. Who wants to answer the first question?
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Okay.
Um, so I grew up in a really unstable home, and I always thought that once I got married, I'd finally feel safe. Like having a good husband and a committed relationship would help me release all the anxiety that I've been carrying for years, and it didn't. If anything, the stakes feel higher now because I have so much more to lose. I find myself waiting for something to go wrong. I love my husband, and he hasn't done anything to deserve the way that I monitor him, but I can't seem to turn it off. Nobody told me marriage would bring up all my old wounds. Was I supposed to know that going in?
Ooh.
I mean, that is compact, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
like,
Mm-hmm. Gotta break
let's
that
stop at yeah, like,
down. Mm-hmm.
um, so what y'all think? Because I'm just gonna
I can
lay that
probably.
there.
I think I could touch on like a piece of it, basically, because I can identify with what she said as far as feeling safe and thinking that marriage was going to change that. And that literally was my experience, right? So
Mhm.
I believed that when I finally was in the right marriage, that all of the things that I always felt like I didn't have someone provide for me, right? So like I really had to look back and I'm like, all my life I've never felt cared for, nurtured. And I
Mhm.
realized just in the past few years that I expressed that to my husband. And I basically
Mm,
said, like, when certain things happen, so I literally had to describe, okay, what happens that makes me feel that I'm not safe? And
mm,
how do I accept responsibility for that on my own, because something like she said, like she realizes like, okay, it's not his fault, and you know, it's you shouldn't treat him that way, but she's being clear with herself, you know, with herself and expressing that. So I think the first thing I would wonder is, have you shared that with him? Because that's very helpful in identifying what it is that you're expecting, realizing that what you're expecting based on what you experienced is not fair to put on someone else, but it's also a great starting place, because that's your helpmate, right? So that he's supposed to try to help you work through that in some way based on some things. So I think that's kind of like how I would look at it, is first, for just those two parts, is yes, you're right. It's not his responsibility. Is this what you should? Nah, there's no way you would know this. Like we're not perfect. We don't come in most cases healed and healed. Like you don't come together both being totally healed over everything that you've experienced. So there needs to be some room for growth in that area. But you just have to be honest and realize that what you're expecting, and what I realized is what I was looking for from him to feel safe, was because I had not even done it for myself. So the nurturing, the support, I had to find ways to create that for myself. And then he aided in that with some of the things that we decided to do together. So it's not a one person thing. And when you think about marriage overall, everything that we're talking about, it takes two people, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you have to recognize it and realize what that is for you. And then you have to express that clearly to him. And then you decide what has to happen next. But I literally, just experienced that over the last few years. And when I really learned what nurturing myself felt like, it took the pressure off of me looking for it externally. Someone else can't make me really feel safe or feel nurtured or all of that. So it's sounds complicated, but I think you're on the right path with talking about it. But I really want to, it's not clear, obviously, but make sure that you're expressing that to him, and then acknowledging in yourself, what do all these things mean, and what are the things that you could do for yourself, so that you have that from within.
That's good. That's good. I think I want to answer it from a bit of a different perspective, and kind of not answer her very specific question, but kind of address the expectation behind the question, because I think a lot of people have that expectation, but it shows up differently depending on what their history is. So she asked the question, like, was I supposed to know that going in, that like marriage would bring up all her old wounds? I will say this. I mean, like, should you have known that? Yes, but you would probably only know it if somebody told you, like people had honest conversations with you about marriage. But it's not just that marriage would bring up all your old wounds. Let me tell you, marriage can bring out the worst in you.
Yeah.
She said, let that
Marriage
sit for a
can bring out
minute.
the worst in you, because it's almost like this person you feel safe with, like who has said that they will love you unconditionally, right? They're with you through richer for poorer, for better or worse, till death do us part. And somehow, subconsciously, unconsciously, however, that kind of gives us this permission to act out in ways that we would not act out with other people outside of our home. Now, maybe I ain't talking about nobody else out there. Maybe I'm just talking about what has happened in my house.
Right.
No, it's real.
But somehow I don't think
It's
that's
real.
the case, right? So, and it's not, obviously it's not okay, right? But there are permissions that I think that we tend to take in our marriage simply because it's with our spouse, right? That
Mm-hmm.
we would not, or liberties that we would not dare do with other people. We wouldn't go to work and say some of the things we say and act the way that that we act. So let me give you an example. I'm gonna use myself as an example. I'm not gonna use Malika as an example. Very few
Exactly.
people, very few people can say that they've heard me curse since I was in college. Very few people.
Okay.
Because I don't really curse, and not from a spiritual perspective, but really I'm just like, is you don't have, like, that's the limited language capability you have to communicate out your feelings.
Right.
Some better words
We're
to
intelligent
use, right?
women.
Right. And yeah, and because I don't, sometimes like when I hear women cursing and stuff like that, I'm like,
Right.
like it kind of brings you down a level or two, right? But and same with my children. They may have heard me say a few words over the years. But generally, like that's just not how we
How you
operate. But the
communicate
person who has probably heard me curse the most
is
is
your husband.
Gary.
She didn't put the brother's name out there. Lord have mercy.
Okay. Okay. Um, and I know that's not a big thing. Like work curse is not a big thing, right? Depending on, your relationship and kind of how you determine you're going to interact with each other and all of that. But it was a big thing for us, and it was a big thing for me. And it's just like, you're never gonna catch me at work cursing. You ain't gonna catch me at church cursing. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna catch me out in public cursing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
Right.
not gonna happen. But I because I have my husband, and it's just like, you made me mad, you made me frustrated, and I'm going, all this stuff that's in here, I'm gonna let it out on you, and you should be able to take it, right? So that, like, marriage can bring out the worst in you, not just your old wounds. It can bring out, like I used to say Riri from Chester, right? This Dr. Cherita, we got Riri from Chester, right? And certain
Riri
things,
rough.
like she's a
Riri
little rough
rough.
around the edges, but it's an amazing thing that the person you love most in the world can bring that out of you, right? You would think that they couldn't or they wouldn't, but they absolutely can, because our expectations are so high, right? So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is that this idea that we marry people to help us heal
Or be better.
or be better, like, and not that they can't do that, right? But or that they shouldn't do that, but we should not be looking for that. Really, we should be looking to be two whole people coming together that makes the other person better, like expands the impact and the power that they can have, like when they come together, versus I'm halfway empty and you're halfway empty, and we're trying to
Mm-hmm.
fill each other up when neither one of us are full to have anything to
Mm-hmm.
pour into the other person. But I think a lot lacks in our marriage preparation, because a lot of people don't even do marriage counseling anymore. And then sometimes
That's what I was
the
thinking.
marriage
Yeah,
counseling
even
that
that
you
you
get
can,
is like,
and then depending on where you are in your life and what that counseling looks like, what is it really effective? Like what does
yeah,
it do? Is it just to check the box? Which is what
yeah,
I find. It's like, okay, you got to go to marriage
yeah,
counseling, but I personally don't think, and of course, obviously, I don't know all the programs, but
right,
there's a lot of programs or periods in time where people do that premarital, and it's really just to check a box, and it's not enough time to actually go through deeper things. It's literally like,
yeah,
okay, we're going to meet for 10 weeks and we're going to talk about this, and we're not really getting deep enough for it to really make the impact that it could.
yeah,
Yeah, and the thing about marriage too, I mean, marriage, I don't care. I believe in premarital counseling, But I also say that I don't care how much counseling you get, marriage is an on the job training type of thing,
Mhm.
right? Because we can sit down and, as you said, Coach Allison, go over, we can spend 10 weeks going over the workbook, and it does lay a foundation, right? So it
Mhm.
provides this groundwork for you. This is how we want to spend our money, this is how we want to raise our kids, this is how we want to communicate if we get into an argument, this is how we want to do this, depending on your spiritual, where you are spiritually, this is what the word of God says about how we should govern ourselves, this is how we need, what we need to declare, these are this is the spiritual opposition that is coming against our marriage, and this is how we need to address it,
Mhm.
whatever the case may be. But I will say that when you get married, it is on the job training. You don't know what the situation is going to be like. And I agree with you, Dr. Cherita. We do experience things with our spouses that we do not, because we let those folks in, like we are naked before them, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Emotionally, mentally. And so they see it all. And
Yeah.
it's not always good. Sometimes it's ugly, but this is the
Mhm.
person that I've committed to showing that self to. And so I think that, the real thing, the thing that I think, as you were talking about expectation, the one thing I don't think we should do is come into a marriage and not think that what you experience and what you know is not going to impact your marriage.
Right.
You
Mhm.
are going to come into the marriage and you're going to bring your past issues and your in she said, I grew up in a, really unstable home. I always thought once I got married I'd finally be safe. No, boo, you're bringing all that instability, like that unstable, that insecure, you're bringing that all into the marriage, and they're bringing all their stuff into the marriage. And so now
Mhm.
we're supposed to figure out, how do we work that? And counseling, premarital counseling, provides maybe how to navigate conflict, but it doesn't help you navigate, I've been isolated, or I was neglected from my mother, or
Yes.
Mhm.
my father abused me, or my
Mm-hmm.
grandmother or my auntie Sue didn't feed me, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like you owe me. Like nothing prepares you for that. And
Yep.
Yeah.
so I'm gonna say my perspective is, listen, you better learn how to find some prayer, because you got to find something plus a bunch of other things to help you get through that, right? Because sometimes my husband and I are fighting, and there's no prayer in there. We are screaming.
Mm-hmm. And cussing.
We we are, well, no, not anymore. I've been healed, but I've been delivered. I've been delivered. But in the beginning stages, it was like, "Ooh, girl, are you? What's wrong with you?" But now it's like, it's just like hollering, like, yeah, why come you wanted to use it? Blah 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 blah. And so there's no premarital counseling for that. To
Mm-hmm.
me,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
lays a foundation, but that's hands on. Now where do we go from here? Because nobody
Yeah.
wrote this part of marriage in a book.
Mm-mm. And
Nobody
you might
told me
not have
how to.
read it. Like it's still like
No,
it's all in the moment. Like,
it's in
it's
the
all a
moment.
process.
It is. Now, I do want to say that what has helped me in my 27 years almost is having an accountability sort of mentor couple
Mm-hmm.
that we can be as honest with, as sort of as we are with each other, like not completely naked, but it's kind of like we are pretty authentically ourselves with our pastor and his wife. And so we
Mm-hmm.
can, they've seen us, they know what we're like, they know
Mhm.
us very well, and we can be very real with them. They've heard me cuss. They
Mm-hmm.
know what I can be like. And so when you're that vulnerable and you know those people care for you, I think it's always important to, whether that's a pastor, whether that's a counselor, some sort of a therapist,
Yeah.
family counseling, something where you can get some wisdom to help you navigate the stuff that the books and your mama don't tell you.
Yeah, that third
Right.
party. you need the third
Right.
you need the third
You need
party
some
that
help. And it's
mm-hmm.
trusted people who you can
Yeah.
trust, who want to see you win. Because some people don't want to see you
Oh,
win in your
that's a good
marriage.
one. That's a good
Mhm.
one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You need somebody who wants to see you win.
Right. And get some real counseling, premarital, and what would it be called? Intramarital? Like once you're
Intramarriage.
married.
Once you're
That
married.
might be a undertapped, underserved. The population is underserved.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
absolutely,
agree. I
absolutely.
agree.
Because I think sometimes, and again, I'm not opposed to premarital counseling, whether it's through like a licensed therapist counselor or through the church. But I think in either case, the person counseling you needs to actually have some counseling training.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, if you're going in the church, the scripture is fine. But if you don't actually know how to counsel
Know what
people,
to do?
and
Yeah.
all you got
Right.
is the scripture, you can't help me solve practical problems. You can't help me identify things that like are
Strategies.
and that are just a little bit deeper. That
Mm-hmm.
because
The deeper.
this should have come up. This should have come up in premarital counseling.
Mm-hmm.
That
Well,
she's
and she
hoping
didn't
that
say
marriage will make her
right.
feel stable and safe. That should have
Mm-hmm.
come up.
Right.
Right.
If they got premarital counseling.
If they got it,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yeah.
So we've got to, so I think that leads me to the point of that enough of us, when I say us, I'm talking about married folks, don't talk about marriage to people who are not married
Mm-hmm.
enough.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we don't want to let people know that it might not always have been as good as it looked from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
know, like we want to appear a certain way, so we don't talk about the realities
Yep.
of marriage, and we don't talk about how difficult it can be. Yes, it
Mm-hmm.
can be rewarding, it can be great, all of those things, but it can be
It's
hell
hard.
as
It's
well.
hard.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Right. It is hard because these are you got two individual people with their own thoughts and ways of doing and ways of being who are trying to come together as one, like taking
Right.
a circle and a square and trying to put it
Mm-hmm.
together to
Yep.
create a shape.
Right.
Right, but what is that? What is a square and a circle when you merge it together? I don't know. But normally the circle is trying to make the square become a circle, and the square is trying to make a circle become a square, right?
Yep.
Right.
You
But
got to do
Right.
that's
this.
not
Right.
Yep.
going to work.
Right.
And we
Marriage
don't
is hard.
it is. It is.
It's
It
hard.
absolutely is. And it really you shouldn't be able to get as married as easily as you can.
Because everything else you got to do a whole lot for. They make the most important things. You don't need nothing for parenting, and you don't need nothing for for marriage. But you got to
Right.
drive. You got to get a license to do
Yeah,
professions.
and here's the other thing too. When you get married, it's like you make this declaration. I think our pastor referred to this when we talk about how important our words are. When you get married, you can't say I do until you make certain declarations with your tongue. You have to
Mm,
say I do.
Mm-hmm.
You have to say I will, do this
Mm-hmm.
and that.
mhm,
And it's like think about the promises we make or the things that we say that we're going to do, right? People hold on to our words. And so
Mm-hmm.
and that's the disappointing thing about marriage. You say these things in a public setting before knowing what this thing is really like. And when you
Mm-hmm.
get in it, you're
Yes.
like, this is not what we signed up for. And that's
That's
you right.
expectation number one.
That exactly like
Mm-hmm.
you don't know, but and that's why I can't do marriage without the Lord. I can't.
mhm.
That's just
Absolutely.
me. Now there are couples that don't at all. Like there's no God consciousness at all. And
Mm-hmm.
they do it. I can't do it because one, I wasn't raised to, but two, it's like I don't know who in the world, like when I go in my room mad at my husband, where am I going to like who am I going to talk to? I'm not always going to call that pastor and first lady. I'm not always I ain't calling my girlfriend. I'm like, Lord Jesus.
Mhm,
Let me get my journal and write to the Lord real quick. Lord, the brother is getting on my nerves. Amen. I mean, you
Amen.
have to, amen. But you have to, you need something in order to
mhm.
hold on and make a marriage work. Ain't nobody say you're gonna be perfect with it, but you need something besides just the two of you because marriage is hard. It's hard
Yes.
work.
Mhm.
Yes.
That was okay.
Oh yeah.
Sending a
It's like,
send all seeds to Dr. Malika. Wait, what did you say? Tell us who
listen,
you are again. Send it to
reinvention
her.
specialist. Listen, I'm gonna be praying though. You listen, send
Tell
your
her
prayer
that.
requests.
Yes.
I'll be
All
praying.
right, that was good. Well, I hope that helped, and not just the person who shared that, but
Yeah.
just other just other women listening in general. Because
Mm-hmm.
even what you said, Dr. Malika, um, whatever that is for someone, you can't do it alone, right?
Yeah.
You can't do it alone. Whether it's a trusted
Yeah.
friend or somebody who's been married for a long time, that can give you some insight, and it's not just you just talking to be talking.
Yeah.
So I
Mhm.
love that. All right, I got our next question. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
It says, we checked every box before we got married. Here we go, talking about box checking. We have the same values, the same faith, the same goals, similar backgrounds. We are the couple everyone pointed to saying is doing it right.
Mm.
But since having kids, I feel like I don't know who he is in some ways. And I'm not sure
Mm.
he knows who I am either. People talk about compatibility like it's a destination you reach, and then you're set. But nobody told me that it was something that you have to keep building on. I feel like if we were compatible on paper, but now we're disconnected in real life. Can we fix this, or just is this what marriage is like or feels like after a few years? That was another loaded one.
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh, the paper part is the problem overall. Like I
Yeah.
think we talk about that even with people in general. Like you meet people and they look good on paper, or we're good on paper. But what is that? What
They
is that paper?
list that you wrote. They check
Yeah.
off.
What is
Yeah, like,
that?
ooh, yeah, you're this, you're this, you're this. But what about now? Like we're not vibing. You have all the same things, but I
And
don't know.
having children. Didn't she said something about
Yeah.
children, right?
Yeah, yeah. She
Mhm.
said
What did
after
she
having
say?
children. She said,
After
she says after, let me see where. Oh, we were
Having
the couple
kids.
that everyone pointed as is doing it right, but since having kids, I feel like I don't know who he is and he doesn't know who I am. Well,
Mhm.
there you have it right there.
let me
Because
tell you something. Kids,
and not
that's
just
another
kids.
layer.
If we're talk over in general, right? Kids are a part of it, but she just pretty much answered her own question. And I think this is a big thing with marriage altogether as well, is you're
Mhm.
not always going to be in the same phases and stages in
Right.
life,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So for her, it's kids. You feel like I don't know who he is and he doesn't know who I am. Well, you don't, because you didn't know him with as being a dad and he didn't know you as being a mom. So you
Right.
are different.
Right.
Like the boxes are checked. You still have the same values, but anything can change a person's life and you're not the same. And I think I talk with a
Mhm.
lot of women who always kind of say, I wish things could be the way they were. And this
Yeah.
makes
Yeah.
me think of that. It's like, I just want things to be how we were when we checked all those boxes and when we first met and before we had kids. I just want it to be this and I just want it to be that. It's not realistic. You're a different person. You both are. So what you
Yeah.
need to do is relearn who you are now, right? It's the same
Mhm.
thing with death in the family can change things. Job, losing a job, getting a
Yeah.
career,
Right.
moving, external things. So really, you are different. So you can't expect somebody to be the same person. You are different people. That's number one.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know what else do you ladies think. I think that just stood out to me because I feel like that's the thing. It's like I wish you could be like you used to be when we first met. We used to go out all the time. We used to do this. Used to open my car door. Used to, but no, we're not there. You're not that person, and neither am I.
Yeah. One of the things, my husband and I did a conference, a couples conference about 2 months ago, and we talked about this whole idea of pivoting together. And we talked more about it from the reference of both of us losing our jobs together. right? So
Mhm.
we had to make a decision, like, what are we going to do here? But I do think one of the points that he makes all the time is that we are constantly changing. He's constantly changing. I'm constantly changing. And I would say, and I'm just going to say this about my marriage, I'm probably constant. I don't want to say women, but I would say it's more women, but you all can confirm or not. I would say that women change pretty, we are always changing, right? I don't necessarily know after 5 years of marriage that I was that same person that he married like in
Mhm.
1999, right?
You can't be.
I didn't like the same things. I probably would have gotten married in a different place. You know what I mean? Like everything changes. You're just your likes, you're constantly discovering yourself. And I think that women tend to be ones who we are always exploring. I think we are tend to be very flexible. We're always curious, we're always looking. And even though we like that stability, I think this is just me. I think we like that in husbands. Like, I think we like our husbands to be stable, right? It's good for me to know you got a job,
Mhm.
you're, because if I want to switch up, I'll need to know there's some level of security there. That's
Mhm.
just what I'm thinking. And so, this idea then, if we're constantly changing and constantly pivoting, then because she said something about building, like you're constantly building. This thing is a constant work.
Mhm.
Right.
It is. And so, and then you add children to the mix of that, like you're getting to know him, he's getting to know you, you're constantly changing. And then kids come into the picture and they have these different personalities and require a level of attention and love and emotion that you are just barely getting from him and he's barely getting from you, and you're trying to make it work. And then your babies need all the attention, or they
And you've
need
never
this
done
and
that before either.
and you right, it's all new. And so I think that it's the idea to me is this is, and for the married people who are out there watching, especially those who might be new to the game, this is a constant work in progress. Constant.
Yeah.
You know, soon as you get comfortable, it's like things start changing inside of you. I mean, I know I'm 53 years old now, and my poor husband is like, "Are you cold or are you hot? Like, what you need?
Yeah, let's not
You
talk
got
about
the
the physical
you
changes.
got the fan. Those are mentioned some physical change. You got the fan on. Okay. All right. It's 90 degrees. You got the heat on now. What's going on? Like and those are just, I'm just sharing like those are real for me right now, but those are just some of the changes we experience, right? Emotionally,
Mm-hmm.
so I think that you really do have to go into a marriage recognizing that it's a constant work, constant. And when kids come into the picture, it's even, you have to be even more intentional, have more conversation, have more date nights, have more time. Right now we have, and we don't have any kids here. I mean, our youngest is here, but he is here temporarily and heading back to college, but it's like we're empty nesters. And so, but we have designated, we went to a marriage conference and we've designated a day of the week that's our day. And we spend about an hour and we connect. We meet, we talk about what's the schedule, what's coming up, what are some things you want to do, where are we with the finances, what does that look like, what do we need to stop doing. I mean, we've been being very, and when I forget, he reminds me it's Tuesday. And we try to be very intentional about coming together to say, this is what we're doing. Or I didn't like when you did this. Can we talk about that? And that's our time. So I think that it is work and you have to be intentional about that. And I wish, I'll say this and I'll stop. I wish that we had a one day of the week, 1 hour of the week 27 years ago,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but we were too young and just
And busy.
thinking we were busy. Yeah, we were working, we are young. We didn't, but we finally figured it out and it has made a world of a difference in our marriage. And I think that's one thing I would tell this married queen, sis, find time, make time so you can reconnect and talk through what you're going through so that so that the building isn't just on you, but it's both of you building and you're being intentional about it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And mind you, now she's only been married 4 years, but they've been together for 7, and they have 2 kids under 5.
Mhm.
So things is different. It's been
Bless the
different
Yeah.
Lord.
for the last under 5 years.
Right. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think like to her question, can we fix it? Or is this just what marriage feels like after a few years? Like it will, I think it will feel like that periodically.
Hmm.
How
Hmm.
long you allow it to feel like that is up to the two of you.
Right.
Um, because life happens, you're still I'm making some assumptions about her age based on the kid's age and the
Hmm.
number of years they've been together. Like you're still young,
Hmm.
you're probably in that career building mode and all of that. All the stresses and pressures that come with that on top of being married and a parent um, to multiple kids. um, like you've got to learn how to balance um and you've got to learn how to lean on each other and you have to
Hmm.
learn how to give grace to each other.
Yeah.
Um, and I think sometimes you just have to remind yourself of like, I mean, she said same values, same faith, same goals, similar backgrounds. Now I didn't hear her say anything about love, but
Hmm.
we're going to assume that love was in there as well.
That's
And it
gonna be
wasn't
Somewhere in
understood.
there.
just one of those things where this makes sense. Like we
Hmm.
should be together because sometimes we know that
Right.
happens too, right?
Right.
That like remembering those things, what made you fall in love? What made you make the commitment? Because that person is still in there, but
Hmm.
how he is, or even how you are, um, kind of showing up like that could be looking
Hmm.
very different based on what you're experiencing in life right now. So, like, yes, people change. He changed, you change. So recognize you change too. He might be thinking some of the same things about you. Like, I don't know
Right.
who this is.
Hmm.
Like, this is not the woman I'm
Right.
married, right? Um, but that person is still in there. That those things have to be cultivated and nurtured.
Hmm.
Um, and oftentimes it has to be planned, it has to be scheduled, and we don't like that. Like we want everything to be romantic, we want it to be spontaneous, and it just
Hmm.
feels the way that it feels.
No.
That's not the reality of it.
Hmm.
Hmm.
If you just let things happen the way it's going to happen, your marriage
Might
will
not
like
happen. Yes, it's not going to
Right.
it
happen.
will likely fall apart because it's so easy to just be in a rut. You're going to do what you're going to do. You're going to let them do what they're going to do, and we'll see what happens. It's more difficult to address the issues, to face the feelings and the challenges that you're having and work through those things and maintain your connection because that's really what it is. Like you're disconnected right now,
Hmm.
but you don't
Right.
have to be disconnected. You can get reconnected, but you got to
Reconnected,
do the
Right.
yes,
work.
and it can
Right.
be fixed.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna get let's try to get one more question in. All right, so
Got a question?
I what you say?
I said, "Oh, you got another question?"
Yeah,
Okay.
yep. Um, well, we got a couple here, so I'm trying to see which one is the best
Which one?
one to do. Um,
Mm.
okay. I got married at 28. I thought I knew exactly who I was. I was educated, I had a career, I had goals. What I didn't know was who I was without my achievements.
Mm.
My identity was built entirely on what I did and what I accomplished.
Wow.
Now that I've done some personal work, I realized I married someone who fit the life I was building, but not necessarily the person I was becoming.
Mm.
He's not a bad husband. This
Okay.
isn't a horror story, but I wonder how much of what I built was about love and how much was about what felt safe and strategic at the time. How do you recommit to a marriage when you're not sure the woman who made that choice is the same woman you are now? And it's kind of like, it might sound like we just answered this, but we didn't really just answer this. It really, it's kind of a different, it's a
It's almost
similar
like,
but
okay,
different
forget about everything we
situation.
just said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because here's my thing. We've been talking about premarital counseling,
Mhm,
seeking, like having, I talked about mentor. Sometimes we as women we need to go to like our own counselor and be able to share some things that are
mhm,
going on with us that have
yeah,
nothing to do with our husbands, right?
mhm,
So, like pulling your husband into a counseling session because you're experiencing this, I think would not be the move. I think you need to be able to share what you're feeling with someone who can help
mhm,
you navigate some of these feelings because it's like you're not in a bad marriage. This is not a horror story. He's not horrible to you. It's just you've made some um, observations, revelation, and now you've got to work through that and figure out. Well, you've got to work through that because what could creep in is I made a mistake.
Hmm, hmm. That's what
That
it
that's
that's
sounds
kind of
like.
kind of that's
yeah.
kinda
Yeah,
what
that's what it
she
sounds like.
feels like. She's like, "I'm not sure if I made a mistake." That's what it sounds like the question
Yeah.
is behind the question,
Right.
right?
Yeah, it's like but
You know
you
what else it also sounds like? It sounds like a sometimes the environments that you're in, right? It's like you're looking at like the greener grass potentially, right? If
Mhm,
you're,
right.
like I'm just thinking of how she's describing herself, and now she's in these circles where she's probably exposed to
Mhm.
things with people that seem to be the opposite of her
Mhm.
husband. So she's saying he's not a bad guy, but maybe did I make a mistake because now I'm with him and he doesn't look like all the other people that I'm looking at.
Right.
So it's like what are you committed to?
Right.
mhm,
Right? Like what is it? If he's not bad, what is it that you're saying is missing, or what is it that she could be questioning based on what she's seeing? You know what I mean? It kind of feels like that's whole she's in this I'm picturing like in the movies where you see somebody and they're like now they're around all these people and they're doing all these things, and he's not doing the same things that those people are doing. It's like a little
Mhm.
FOMO almost.
yeah,
Mm.
so she said, 'cause I think it's almost the opposite of that, right?
Okay.
In that maybe she realized that she didn't love, like, she doesn't love him the way that she should have loved him, that he was the right choice based on the life she
Where
was
she
building
was.
at that
Mhm.
time, right? Because she said, "Now that I've done some personal work," right? Because
Mhm.
everything else was about her achievements.
Mhm.
Now that she's done some personal work, she realized that she married someone who fit the life she was building, but not the person she's becoming.
Mhm.
So it sounds like she may not be as focused on those achievements
Mhm.
now.
Mhm.
Like, she recognizes that life is more than that, but
Mhm.
perhaps she married a husband that kind of fit with that. Like, yeah, we this power couple, we doing this and
Mhm.
we doing
Mhm.
that. And she
Okay.
like,
Okay. I could see
Maybe
that
he's
too.
not a yeah, and maybe he's more focused on action, activity,
mhm,
accomplishment, achievement. Maybe he's high power, maybe less emotional.
Got
We
it.
don't know
Got it.
anything about him. I'm just assuming
mhm.
like, okay, she would like to really, maybe cuddle up on the couch and watch TV, and he's
He's
like, we
like,
gotta
"Come on,
go,
no,
we
we
gotta
got
make
this
things
business to
happen. We
build.
got
Come on,
this,
let's go."
yeah. Um,
Ooh,
and
now
that
that's a little
and
different.
and I think that's tough.
Yeah,
I still go back to, okay, we got to do some work then. Because now
Mhm.
you've
yeah.
made this realization. Now you got to do the work.
Mhm. Right.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you think about it, y'all, can I just,
Please.
having never been divorced, I know that it happens and there are reasons for it. But like, is this a reason to leave your husband? Because he doesn't align with where you're going, but it doesn't sound like he's this horrible person. or this horrible husband. He's what you married at the time.
But
You know what
I
I'm
think, you
Mhm.
saying?
know what, I get what you're saying, but I think what she's really speaking to is happiness and fulfillment.
Mhm.
So
Mm,
I'm not going to tell anybody to get divorced or not get divorced,
yeah.
but I think unhappiness is a very big problem and could lead to that, whether you're being pushed in that direction or not. So it sounds like she's more unhappy with her choice now. And obviously with being young, right? How many times do we hear people like, I got married when I was young, like what I wanted then is not what I
Mhm.
wanted now? It sounds very typical.
Yeah,
However,
because
I think
but
that,
we ain't all happy though. Like you're not always
Yeah.
happy.
So let me read. I'm looking back at the question again. Let me read this sentence to you. But I wonder how much of what I built was about love and how much was about what felt self safe and strategic at the time.
oh yeah, it wasn't about love.
But she thought it was at the
She
time.
thought it
But
was,
now,
but it's
now
not.
she's done this work and she's recognizing like I'm not sure that I love this man.
Yeah. Well, I said this in the beginning, and this might not sound right to people, but I just gotta say what I think. And even with Dr.
Be
Cherita
you.
said about being like what was it that you said in the beginning, and I commented on it. Oh yeah, like it's more important to like than love, right? I think the
Mhm.
word love in itself is that feeling or what you think something should be like. Being
Mhm.
strategic is, in my opinion, more of what marriage is about.
Say that again. I
It's
missed that.
like she's saying that, just read that one line again because I'm hung up on
But
that
I
line.
but I wonder how much of what I built was about love and how
Love.
much was about what felt safe and strategic at the time.
I believe that it's what felt safe and strategic at the time based on everything that she said and her age. It's like we
Mm-hmm.
got to do this, we got to build this and do all this stuff, and then now it's like, is love missing?
Mhm.
So she has to determine, when we talk about core values, what is most important. Now what she does with that, I can't tell you exactly what to do.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like whether it's stay in a
Right.
marriage or not. Yes, people are unhappy, but for some people, if happiness in your marriage is top priority, there's a lot of things that you may not necessarily find important. It's just the truth. Some people can live in
Yeah.
an unhappy marriage. Some people have done it for a very long time, but some people
Mhm.
are not willing to, regardless of why. You meet when you're
Right.
young, you're looking for
That's
something, you're
it.
like maybe. So that's that's how I feel. That's my opinion. Like I get the commitment and I get that that's the goal, is to be committed, but she has to determine if being happy, whatever that means to her, or being
Mhm.
prepared for the future with how she moved originally, which is most important. She can have
Yeah.
both, but if she's teetering on one having more weight, then that's the direction that she's going to go in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, because I'm like, I can 27 years. Are you kidding me? Like there were times when it was great and there were times when I was not happy. But
Yeah.
I'm of the mind of you work through it. Okay. Because for me, it's more about what the commitment
Hmm.
that I
Mhm.
made.
Yes.
And I think that for me, like I'm a very big anybody who comes to me and says, "Can you talk to me about counseling?" I'm gonna be very clear with you because I'm gonna be me. And the bottom line is when you make a commitment, you make a commitment. Now I
Hmm.
can't the other people like you can't be beating somebody half to death and I'm gonna tell you to stay. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, and there are other factors, but what I'm saying
Mhm.
is marriage again is work. And you won't always be happy. Like sometimes it's like I have been in my marriage, there were times when there was silence in this house. And the only people talking were the kids and us talking to the kids. That's real life to me.
Hmm.
Mhm. Yeah.
And there are times when we are having the best time. There are seasons, right? But it's like I'm committed to I'm committed to this marriage. I'm committed to figuring out how to make this thing work and how to be happy. And I feel like when you start talking about whether you marry somebody for happiness or for like the
Mm-hmm.
security, and that sounds like you. I agree with you. That sounds more strategic. This was
Mm-hmm.
a strategic
Mhm.
marriage,
Mm-hmm.
and she's now like, this is not where I want to be, and that
Mm-hmm.
does happen. How long she been married? Does it say how long she been married?
Um, she said 8 years.
8 years. And so you kind of figuring like, okay, after 8 years, you're like, okay, is this what I want? Like, is this what I want? Like, you have to
And
make that
two,
assessment.
and you know what, too, thinking about that, right? She's about to turn 40. That's the magic number. That's when you start
When
putting in
you
the work. You
start,
like, what am I going to do? I'm turning 40. What does that look like? I mean, I just think that
I could do better.
there's just and I don't know statistically how true this is. It just the way the world is, I feel like more people are less committed. And I think if we see more people get divorced, they're less committed. They're less to be led and driven by the commitment of marriage. So
Yeah,
that's
because
that's where I'm speaking
options.
from. It's like, okay, do I could
Mhm.
not stay in it, and I don't really even need all those reasons. So I think she has to determine if she's committed to the marriage first,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Because
then
people have
working on
options.
what that looks like. But yeah, I think a lot of people don't really move with that intention anymore, as
Mm-mm.
far as being
Mhm.
committed just because marriage is a commitment. They have them bad days and they're done on the
They're
bad
out.
days. They don't get
But
a
they
chance
have the
to.
options. Being single is okay. It's like I can be. I'm a. I have a degree. I have this degree. That I'm good. I have my business. I'm making money. I don't need you, kind of thing.
Hmm.
Or
Mhm.
I don't have to be committed to you to have that. And I'm like, I'm thinking like, listen, I am not trying in a world that we live in 2026. I have no desire to get back in there in the game. Okay. Mm-mm. Absolutely not. I don't know what
Right.
I'm getting. You know what I'm saying? Like, not that I don't think I would be okay, but it's like, do you know how long it takes to really establish and really, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's so hard. It is hard. I think marriage
Yeah.
is hard. I'm not trying to be dipping and skipping.
Right. Right. And that never mind the
Mm-mm.
fact that like I didn't not almost 30 years training
Put
this
in the
one. Ain't
work.
nobody else getting the fruits of my labor. I'm sorry. I'm
Same.
selfish that way. Ain't nobody else getting the fruits of my labor.
They
Now,
gonna come. They gonna be right then. They come in. You leave now. He gonna be right for the next one.
Yeah, girl.
so her question was, how do you recommit to a marriage when you're not sure the woman who made that choice is the same woman you are now? So I think with that recommitting,
Hmm.
we
Mm-hmm.
make it, like, I'm not saying it's an easy thing to do, but I think we
Mm-hmm.
also make it more difficult than it has to be.
Hmm.
Commitment is a choice,
Hmm.
plain and simple.
Right.
Choose to commit or choose not to.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's totally up to you. Both will have their own
Set of
outcomes,
yes
Right.
consequences, results, rewards,
or
you know,
not.
whatever.
Right.
But also if you choose to commit, to recommit, I think they're like, I agree with you, Dr. Malika, about okay, she needs to go and talk to someone and not include her husband in that conversation. But at the same time, I think she needs to have a conversation with her husband, not about I don't think I love you, but just like almost like I'm recognizing that I've changed over the last few years. Do you recognize that I've changed
Hmm.
over the last few years?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
And kind
yeah,
of like
yeah.
talking about what that change is and who she is right now.
Hmm.
Right.
Because he either he could be totally oblivious.
I was going to say the same
And
thing. Maybe he doesn't
that's
have a
the truth
clue.
about men. He
Hmm.
could be
Right.
totally oblivious, or he could be very aware and
Hmm.
is really like,
I don't know
I
what to
don't want to
do.
live my life. Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Like,
Hmm.
she doesn't seem like she's here. We seem so distant and far apart. And like, like she's on
Right.
her own. I'm on my whole path, on my own path. I think they need to have a conversation about who they are both right now what they want and
Mhm.
where they are still aligned, and hopefully there is still, because I feel like her question is like there is some desire to make it work, that
Right.
she's not like
Yeah. I don't
I'm
think she
out of
wants
it,
to.
right?
Right. Right.
Yeah. So
Which is a good
hopefully,
thing. That's a good
yeah.
sign for her.
Yes. So if there is still some alignment there, I think it makes the recommitment a little less challenging because you have something to stand on. But if you're
Yeah.
totally out of alignment, it's going to be a little, not impossible, but it's definitely going to be more difficult because now you got to find a place of connection that doesn't currently exist.
Right.
Um,
Right.
Like starting over.
yeah. Yeah.
That was good. That was a good one too.
They were tough, though. Let me tell you.
Yeah. But I think,
Yeah.
you know what, they
Yeah.
all did have a common thread. And I think that
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
fair to note that this is likely an experience that many women go through or have gone through or will go through. It's
Mhm.
Yes.
just change, just like rediscovering. There's so much of that now. We didn't used to
Yeah.
have these ideas of identity and finding myself and purpose and all of that, right? So
Right. Right. Right.
you're going to have those experiences and you have to determine, like, yes, you're not the same person and neither is the person that you're with. And the recommitment, and like you said, it's like either you're doing it or you're not. Like that makes it
Yeah.
so much easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can have a conversation with that joker and he'd be like, I'm so glad you said it. I couldn't
Right.
wait.
Right. Because he was
I was
waiting,
trying
but
to
he
figure
didn't.
out
He didn't
myself
want
what
to
to
touch
do.
it. That's the
I
truth.
didn't want to say nothing.
Yeah. I also say to the woman who might be like praying for their husband or praying for their marriage, I just have to say, as someone who has lived it, sometimes it takes years.
Hmm.
Mhm.
It is not, you're talking about changing a person's core being.
Mhm.
And that doesn't happen overnight. And that's why I'm always about the long haul and you got to stick with it and it's hard work. But honestly, because it's really important to know that when you're praying for something in a person, in a human being, that it takes time. And there's nothing, you can't microwave change
Mm-mm.
in a
No.
Yeah.
person. You can't microwave change in a person, in a human being who has been that way for 25, 26, 27, 28
Hmm.
years.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't like this about you. Lord, please change this
Hmm.
person. And immediately God may say, okay, but he's got to walk. That change has to come through scenarios and
Hmm.
situations and life changes and experiences
Mhm.
and da 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 da. Da. And so that takes time.
Yeah. And you know what?
And
You
truth
also have
be
to be
told,
honest and ask yourself, what if it doesn't change? What if I'm continuing to grow and change? Can
mhm.
I live this way if the other
Mhm.
person never changes? Or if it's
Right.
guaranteed that for the next 10 years, this is what your life is like? Are you committed to that? Because you, like
Yeah.
you
Are you
said, Dr.
committed?
Malika, you don't know what that looks like in anything. And
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
moment could make that person change for the better or for worse.
Exactly.
Like you said it, like a
Yeah.
job loss could ruin a relationship or a marriage. If
Absolutely.
somebody
Yeah.
doesn't, you don't know how someone's going to react or respond to life's challenges
Right.
until it happens. So
Right.
you don't know what that's
Mhm.
like until it happens. So you
Until it
have to
Mhm.
happens.
determine, if nothing changes after this life-changing event, am I committed? If nothing changes for the next 10 years,
Am I good?
am I do
Yes.
it?
Am I
Am I
And
do it?
committed
truthfully,
to?
you need to ask that question before you say "I do," because we go back. We've kind of mentioned this in some other episodes. Of like,
Mm-hmm.
you think like, you got some issues with this dude before you marry him, but you think marriage is going to change him, or you going to change him once you get
Mm-hmm.
married. And it's like that is not the case.
No.
And that's
That's
because that's
not
not what
who
No.
marriage
he
is
is.
for.
Right,
It's
right.
not what
So
marriage is for.
you got to
Like
think
when we get
about like
married, everything gonna be
if he
better.
never.
I know you don't got
No,
a lot
if
of
he
money now,
never
but when we get
changes,
married, you gonna make all that money.
right? If he never changes, will you still love him? Can you still be committed? Can you still be in this thing? And he should
Yes.
be able to the same question about her. Like
Yep.
our husband be asking the same questions about us. And I was gonna say that oftentimes, like even when we're praying for change for the other person, sometimes that answered prayer is not them changing, it's you changing.
It's me changing.
Because ain't nothing changed, but if your perspective and your insight
Your
changes, your
response. Yep.
behavior, absolutely. It's the same stuff going on over there, but you have a different perspective and you move in with blinders on
Absolutely.
in some cases. You
Yeah.
just gotta keep it going.
Absolutely. That is huge. That
Mhm.
is huge because I think that sometimes, two things. One, there are times when I've prayed for my husband about something specific and God has changed me and my response
Mm-hmm.
to whatever he's doing. And then later you see something. The other thing is one of the worst things I think that has happened to us, and we've gone through some really tough things, but I think is losing our jobs in the same day at the same time. But let me tell you what that did. We made a decision that that was going to help. That was, I mean, not help, but that was going to be a positive thing.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't going to let it kill our marriage
Change.
or kill us,
Yes.
right? So,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm saying that sometimes what seems awful is like just what you need in your marriage. It's like a jolt in your marriage,
Yeah.
and it's just what you need to put you on
Mm-hmm.
track. But you weren't like, who's looking to lose their job
Right.
Right.
at the same time? Like, no, people don't even do that. So I'm saying, like, sometimes you just, that's the prayer answer that you prayed 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Right.
And my marriage is definitely better after we lost our jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, get that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Different
So,
level of commitment.
right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the fact that women now, not I won't say nowadays, like it's a new thing, but certainly I would say since like 70s, because I think it was like I think like
The
women couldn't even have
60s was
their own
like the
credit
new
cards until
revolution.
the
Yeah.
70s.
Hmm.
Like we because we have more options now,
Hmm.
leaving is a real consideration. It's
Mm-hmm.
like we recognize that we don't have to stay in a situation where we are not happy, where we are not satisfied, where we are not fulfilled, because we can take care of ourselves now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Um, and while I think it's a positive thing because it keeps women from being in situations that they really should not be in.
Yep.
Um, but it also opens the door for a lot of women to leave more easily and not try to work on
Work.
fight for their marriages, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Easy to cop out.
Hmm. It's
Yeah.
easy. I've said to myself, how many times have I said, I got 3 degrees. I can do it. Listen, I'm right here in this address right here with them 3 degrees right on in here. It's hard out there in them streets.
Yeah.
But I'm
Love
saying,
it.
like, you have options. I mean, think about it, ladies. We are all entrepreneurs, which means we know how to start something. We
Mm-hmm.
know how to make something work. We know how to
Right.
make something successful. We know
Mhm.
how to fall and get up.
Yep.
Yeah.
We are creative. We are busy. We are active. We are gifted. We are talented. We are beautiful. Like, there are things working for us that we could say, you know what? I can't go. But right. Peace
Yeah.
out. But that's the choice. I mean, I think it gets sweeter as you go, but you got to
Mhm.
get through that. You got to get through those storms. You got to get through those hard times, and you'll see some things um in the end later.
Yeah. And I'll say this last thing that I agree with what Malika said, because that's been my experience as well, but I recognize that that's not everybody's experience.
That's true.
And and then it becomes like we really have to determine, like, is this the way I want to spend the rest of my life? Like,
Mm-hmm.
no, he may
Right.
not be cheating you, he might not be cheating on you, but and like you are cohabitating. Like it might even be like peaceful in the sense that you're not arguing a lot and all of
Mm-hmm.
that, but you're just coexisting. You're like roommates and
Mm-hmm.
that's it.
Yeah.
And like now the children are gone and maybe they're still there. I don't know, but y'all just kind of like chit
Hmm.
chatting in the night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like is that what like it might change,
Mm-hmm.
But if it doesn't,
Mm-hmm.
is
You
that
got
the
to be
way
good
you
with
want
that.
to spend
Yes.
the rest
Yeah.
of your marriage, your life, and that's a hard decision for some people to make, because some people take covenant seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So for some people it's like that word wasn't even in the mix when they got married, right?
Nope.
And
Right,
that's
right, right.
a part of how they're operating. But sometimes there is a decision to be made. you know I
It
pray marriage,
is.
but I get a woman or a man deciding that this is not how I want to spend the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I get it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
My biological parents never got married, and I say that because I grew up with my grandparents, but my parents never married.
Hmm.
Um, but what my example was my grandparents,
Hmm.
you know. Um, so I think sometimes, and we didn't really talk about that, but I think sometimes what we grew up seeing
Becomes the
also can
norm.
influence.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah,
Good stuff.
yeah. This was
Yeah,
good.
Mm-hmm.
So much
yeah.
so that, it's after 9. I mean, this
Yeah,
is
I know.
definitely good because we don't play that with the time. I want to tell your audience, we don't play with the time.
Right. Yes, yes, yes. So we do hope that this episode helped you, blessed you, made you think some
Hmm.
kind of way,
Mm-hmm.
and that you'll join us on June 15th
15th.
for the next episode. We will not be talking about marriage.
Yeah.
The next time, we're actually bringing an expert on who's going to talk about how we help raise our Black boys
Mm,
to be able to find their identity and their voice. So,
Yes,
if
that's
you are
good.
a mother of Black boys, or you mother Black boys in some other way, or some educators or therapists who work with Black boys, have them tune in and
Mm-hmm.
yes.
learn about what our guest expert will be sharing on June 15th.
Yep.
So, yeah,
It's
be
going to be
sure
a
to
good
like
one.
and subscribe as well. Don't miss
Yes.
that. All right, so that will wrap it up for this evening. We appreciate you, and we will see you next time. Until then, the coaches are out.
The coaches are in. When you need a timely, transparent friend, tune into the coaches are in. Talking career, business, health, and wealth. You got a friend now into the coaches are in. With authenticity, come on, let's take a seat and tune